to Ticket to Life. I hope everyone's having a wonderful 24 hours. This is Henrie, and if this is your first time to hear us, welcome, welcome, welcome. Bienvenidos. Ticket to Life. It is. This is a great month. I talked about what it was in last week's podcast, but I forgot a major thing to celebrate this month is it's a National Women's History Month. It was declared in 1987 that us women have a month. Is that awesome? I bet a lot of people didn't know that. But I'll tell you what's very exciting this month is my son is having a birthday. My wonderful firstborn son is having a birthday. So happy birthday, son. Early birthday. I know you really don't listen to my podcast, but I'm saying happy birthday to you anyway. Anyway, today is just another day in Texas. It is warm in the 80s, and that's how it is. So this morning, my daughter and I decided to go to the Dallas Arboretum. It's a beautiful, beautiful park, acres and acres of just the most beautiful. It's the Dallas bloom, so it's everything anyone could wish for. I mean, it is spring. It is welcoming spring. So it was Tiny Tots Day. So you take, we'd had my granddaughters, and we take a little picnic lunch and have this big plan. Well, the youngest granddaughter is just walking everywhere. She's, hold on. I'm sure you can hear my dog in the background. That is something you should not be listening to. And just like that, you can't hear him bark anymore. Just shut the door. That's one thing you learn in your little podcast learning thing. Make sure that the doors are closed. You're in a very quiet place. You can't hear dogs, TVs, music. And what did I do? I left the door open. But anyway, Arthur, I'm sure he's warding off some stranger at the door. Hopefully not, but hopefully we don't have anyone at the door. But anyway, so we go to the Arboretum. It's great. Our youngest granddaughter is 18 months now. I don't know. Something like that. So I know I should know. That's the great grandmother that I am, or Lita, as I wish to be called. But anyway, so, it was exhausting for both of us, but we had a lot of fun. The girls had a blast. The oldest is 3, but she is just so smart. I know. I'm sure we all say that about our grandkids, but she is just beyond smart. But anyway, so I was getting so PO'd about so many moms that were there. I was not a perfect mom. I never claimed to be, but I didn't have a cell phone. Here I go again. Here's my venting about those damn cell phones. So there's a group, they have story time there. They have like a little petting zoo. They do this once a week there. It's really great when we're members there. And it's just a place of peace. It's just peaceful. It's beautiful. But during the story time, a lot of the moms that are there have their little ones, and they're sitting on the ground, and listening to this man read stories. Well, I noticed this little baby, just about my granddaughter's age, the youngest, and she is just wandering off. I mean, 15, 20 yards away from her mother, if not further. And I'm watching her, and I'm like, okay. Then I see one mom stand up and start running. Well, she was going to get something out of a stroller. And there's this little girl just there. Half the moms are either yakking, and that's fine. But, it is mom time too. But their kids are with them, or they're on their cell phones. And that's fine if they're sitting and watching their children. This little baby is just wandering off, and I'm watching because you really don't know who's in there. You have to pay to go there, but you don't know who's paying to go in, especially on Tiny Tot Day. Anyway, so then this mom sends her older daughter to go get her, and the older daughter is probably about 3 or 4, and of course the baby doesn't want to go with her. And I'm watching, and I'm like, oh, let's see how this is going to work. Then here comes mom, but not to fear. She's walking, but she's got her cell phone the whole time and she's just looking at it. And she picks up the baby and they just start walking and she's not even paying attention. And then we are walking after our little lunch and it's time to go and we're packing up. And then my daughter has one of those canvas, like little red wagons, but it's canvas and collapsible. It's really great to have. But so we're packing everything up. And then there are three women, not together, but three separate women, and they all have strollers, and all three of them are on their phones, and the child is just in the stroller. And I mean, okay, maybe they're doctors and this is their day off. Maybe they are scientists. I don't know. But if you're there with your kids, put the freaking phone away. Enjoy this time with your child. It is valuable that you start making this bond with your little one at this age. It just is. And it's like, oh, well, they're not going to remember. No, they may not remember, but it is vital to get that connection with your child. I have a friend who is having a little bit of trouble with her son. He is 15, and they've always been really close, but he's always been reliable, responsible. And all of a sudden, when I say he's having trouble, no, he's not in juvenile or he's not a juvie or in juvie or whatever it's called. Anyway, but she's having some problems with him. And it's because these are just my opinions. Everybody calm down. Opinions. These are Henrie's opinions. These are my thoughts. I feel as though when you feel your child is responsible, reliable, you have to continuously still be with that child. Spend that special time. Spend that time with them. Get to know their friends. I know I'm repeating myself from my teens episode that I have, but you need to have that. It's so important because now he's doing things that they probably would have never have thought he would try or do. And I think what it is, they have let that responsibility. They have taken this responsibility that he has had and think it's going to last until he's in college and after college. No. Think about what you did in high school. Think about what you did in college. Holy smokes. You've got to be continuously keeping them on that right path. I'm not saying hover over them, and they need to be able to experience other things, but let them spread their wings to a certain degree, but not too far. And I just feel really bad for the parents because right now they're kind of at wit's end. He's not doing anything illegal. He's just doing, talking back. And I know this is all teen stuff. You talk back and you will make some bad choices in school when you were an A student and not making those A's. But anyway, I don't know where I'm going off with this, but this is just more of just remember to embrace every moment you have where your kids can come and talk to you about anything and tell you anything, and don't go crazy and start blowing up on them. It's just important. And it's those damn cell phones. As much as I love mine, I just had to stop podcasting because mine just went off. And yes, I forgot to turn it off. But I think it is vital that we all have one now. But some people use it for the wrong reasons, as so many other things in life. But anyway, this is just, I guess it's just about parenting again. And I am not a perfect parent. I don't know a perfect parent. There is no such thing as a perfect parent. But just remember, put the cell phones down. Look at your kids. If you're going to the zoo, if you're going to an arboretum, if you're going any place with your child, spend that time with them, not on the phone. And don't give them the phone to be on it either, because that's not good. And I have a friend of a friend of a friend whose friend just found out that their daughter is a lesbian. Great. But apparently she's had a girlfriend for over a year and the parents were oblivious to it. Why? She is 17. Great. But she couldn't talk to her parents because she was terrified to talk to her parents. What are her parents going to do? Hopefully she felt that they would not disown her. Their daughter. So accept your kids for who they are. Put your phones down, spend that time, because 10 to 1, had they not been doing their own thing, they would have not just found out. And now they're like, oh, we didn't know. Oh, what are we going to tell our friends? You know what? If your friends have something to say, then they're not your friends, because it is none of their business. If if this is what their daughter chooses to be, or who she is, actually, it's not who she wants to be, it's just who she is. Accept it. Accept the fact that she is still the same daughter you brought home from the hospital. So, again, spend time with your kids. Don't wait until you hear it from someone else. Let your kids know that you are always open to anything and everything. Embrace it. You may not be crazy about the idea, but it's still them. As long as it's legal, it's safe. It's not hurting anyone. Because remember, it's not always going to be about you. It will be about your kids. So accept for who they are. Now, if they do have a lot of other problems, then yes, you probably need to talk to them. And the other thing, the thing with it's a big thing on the news. Depression is so bad right now, especially among young girls. And we have got to be aware of what is going on in their life. Not just the girls, the boys too. It is so important. I know we're at that point where a lot of our teens don't even want to talk to us. They just, well, I don't have any teens, but I remember, of course, cell phones were around when my kids were teens, but not social media was not that crazy. I remember when my son was in college is when social media really started. The whole Facebook thing, it was meant for college kids, and look what happens is all of the adults that listen to my podcast probably are obsessed with it, like so many more. But back to depression, it's just the rates are so high right now with teens, especially, again, like I said, with girls. 3 in 5 U.S. teen girls felt sad or hopeless in 2021. So if it was like that in 2021, you can imagine what it's like. 60% increase, highest level in a decade. And 30% of the average girl said they have actually thought about committing suicide. Committing suicide at 13, their life has just begun. And even younger, you have younger kids that you've heard in elementary school thinking about it due to the fact of bullying or things aren't going well at home. And yes, the pandemic, I'm always going to, I mean, I don't know how many years I'm going to be blaming this pandemic, but I probably will be blaming it for many, many years, because it did do a number on everyone, not just teens, not small children, but parents. It did something to the family unit. And I don't care if you believed that it was a real thing or not, it still affected everyone. And the pandemic didn't help at all, as we all know, because of the isolation we all had. We didn't have a choice. We had to stay home. So what has spiked all of this increase? Let's think about it. Go ahead, guess. I'm going to give you some time. If you said you know what it is, yes, it is social media. Oh, wait, I am doing a podcast. And I use social media to push my podcast for people to listen. And I have hope that this has helped some. I hope that you're not alone in anything. But right now, depression is a very, very sad and scary thing. In Texas alone, I read that the leading cause of death to people between the ages of 15 and 34 is not cancer, but suicide. So this is where, as a parent, you've got to be open with your kids. Let them know they can come talk to you about anything. Share your struggles as when you were a teen. Don't let them believe that you never had any problems, because that's unreal. We all had some sort of struggle. Share the struggles that you did have or that you may be facing now. Well, not too in depth because they don't need any more on their plate. But it is important for you to be able to just leave that communication door open. Leave it open because, again, kids don't want to be around us. But, and the other, no, they don't want to talk to us. But if they know that door's open, they may just surprise you and say, hey, I need to talk. When kids know that parents are there for them and know that parents have not always had their shit together, because I know I didn't and still don't. I mean, we all struggle at parenting. Parenting is one of the hardest things you will ever do in your life, and you don't get paid for it. As I've said in the past, you don't get a monthly check. You don't get vacation time, insurance. You don't get any of those. The perks is having that bond with your child and having that bond with your kids as they grow up as adults. Now, I know my kids probably think I'm pretty quirky sometimes, but we do have an open communication. They know that they can talk to me about anything. My kids are in their 30s. But we've always just been able to talk about anything and everything. I will not shy away from any conversation other than politics. I just won't. I mean, I don't have time for politics. But anyway, and you wonder, well, why social media? This is having them connect with friends. Is it friends? Do you know for a fact that they are talking with friends, or are you just going by what they're telling you? You need to find out. I'm not saying go and start being nosy and get on their Facebook, but you need, not even Facebook. Kids don't do Facebook that much anymore. They don't even do, what is the other one? Oh, geez. Oh, I was going to say Instagram, but they do Instagram. But Instagram is more no conversation. TikTok is a big deal. And TikTok and Snapchat, that's the whole thing with that Snapchat. I don't know enough about it. All I know is that you can have a conversation and then it's gone. And it's gone. And that's their secret. But just to know what causes, I think, these are my thoughts, only my opinions. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I'm just Henrie. But these are my thoughts. They see all the exciting and fun things people on social media are doing, and they're not doing any of this. But if you pay attention, no one's going to post something where, oh, well, I've had a miserable day, and oh, well, some people actually do that, but those are the people that complain a lot. But you have the people that all they do is show happy pictures, and I'm guilty of that too. But I mean, my life is happy. I'm sure, and I know I've shared probably, oh, this sad thing happened, you know, but all kids post for sure and share is all the fun things they're doing. They don't share their home life, and so many kids are in a sad situation at home because of the fact their parents aren't always there. Their parents, and yes, I'm blaming parents. I mean, parents can't help it. I know parents have to work. Of course, we all do. We all did at one point or do right now. But even though you're at work, when you are with your child, make that special time with them. And again, there are so many people that don't realize, we don't ever know what's going inside a house. Adult friends are not going to share their most miserable times of marriage with you. They're only going to share the good times. Now, a good friend may share it because they're seeking help. But it is so important for us to help these teens not to feel lonely. And that was the other thing I read, that studies are showing that kids, well, not just kids, adults too, feel even these effects of loneliness even more by social media, because they see, oh, everyone's doing these wonderful vacations. Oh, they just are the best family. But not, again, no family is perfect. My family is not perfect. No family in the entire universe is perfect. And I'm not saying that we need to try to make a perfect family, because no such thing. But you need to just have that open communication. Have faith in your life. If you have faith, trust me, speaking from a wise woman, that's me, faith can get you through anything. God is so almighty and powerful. And if you can start that open communication about God with your kids. It doesn't matter what they believe in or what you believe in, as long as you have that faith. And even if it's a tiny little bit of faith, share that with your kids. Let them know they're not alone. Let them know someone is always listening, if not you, God. But I'm not trying to be a preacher here or anything, but please remember it is important for us to have I did not even know what this podcast was going to be about today. I just started rambling, as you can tell. I wanted to complain about the moms at the Arboretum on the stinking cell phones. I, again, went to the store today, and there's this little girl, probably about 11 or 12, and she's just sitting in the lawn and garden section on her phone, sitting there all by herself on her phone. I don't have no idea where her parents were, but she looked miserable. She absolutely looked miserable. And I just feel for these kids who don't have someone to talk to. So don't forget, it's very important to know 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. 3 numbers, 988. If you know of anyone that needs this number, share it with them. Or someone you think might need it, share it with them. I mean, we are given one life. Let's live it to the best. Let's be kind. Let's know people are not alone. It doesn't even have to be your child. It could be someone you work with. It could be someone you know at church. It could be someone anywhere. Be kind. Let them know they are not alone no matter what in life. It's very important to know that, because some people don't think that they have anyone. But if they just have a listening ear, and you know what? When your kids or another adult or a friend talks to you, the best thing you can do is listen. Don't say a word. Keep your inner thoughts to yourself unless they ask your opinion. And if you give your opinion, make sure you think before you speak. Put yourself in their situation. So anyway, this is Henrie. Thank you for listening. Or I guess my rant and raving, or whatever you want to call this, about cell phones and teenagers and family, because they are important. They're important to me. They're important to you. People are important. And don't forget, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you come from. You can make a change. This is Henrie. Go find your blessings. And until next week, have a wonderful, wonderful next 7 days.